Good morning, people. You know who it is. It's your boy Tay with reporting live for the man. Okay, you might say I'm a little happy today because I got my Browns attire on. Yes, Browns attire. Don't mind the jersey. You already know, representing that 216 baby, that 000. You know what I'm saying? Got the elf on the hat. Let's get straight into it. We got 3 games that come on tonight. We had 2 games on last night. Teams last night was on a brink of elimination. The first game that come on tonight at 7:30 on NBA TV. The Washington Wizards host the Atlanta Hawks, and at 8 o'clock we got the Boston Celtics playing the Chicago Bulls at 8 o'clock on ESPN. Then the late cap game would be them Los Angeles Clippers taking on my Utah Jazz that will be wrapping up the season for the Clippers. The Clippers might be ready to go home. I'm looking for the Bulls to even things up, and I'm looking for the Hawks to go home. So with that being said, let's get straight into the games that came on last night. The Toronto Raptors and the Milwaukee Bucks. Man, that game was a doozy last night. I'm not gonna front. DeMarre Carroll still had a terrible game, to be exact. Like I said, you pay this guy $64 million to do what? To score 6 points, and his only highlight on TV was a 3-pointer when he was up by 15. Like, if you're gonna pay these guys this much of money, you can't have 3 guys in the starting lineup under 10 points. Like I told everybody, Norman Powell, he had a good game when he scored 26 points. And I said he gonna go back to being Norman Powell old, in which he would. He only had 8 points and 3 rebounds last night. I said that's what he's gonna get from him. Serge Ibaka still want to shoot threes, don't want to go in the paint and bang. Like, I don't understand these guys that play in the NBA that's 6'11" and almost 7 feet tall. They got certain guys on their team that can shoot threes. We don't need a Serge Ibaka shooting threes. Why are you doing that? Just get your behind in the post, score, get in the paint, grab rebounds. That is not hard. A rocket scientist can figure that out. I'm tired of just waking up every morning or when I'm watching the game. The first thing I'm looking for. I know what the go-to guys going to do on the team, the elite guys. I'm looking for the extra help that's going to get these teams over the hump. So I'm looking at where these guys come and help. Okay, yeah, they would. Yeah, the Raptors up by 25, blew a 25-point lead almost, and the Bucks almost came back and won last night. You know why? Because it's sad to say, because DeMar DeRozan every night got to put the team on his back. Him and Kyle Lowry. You're not getting no help from the bench. The bench only scored 26 points last night, but you had Norman Powell 8 points. The game before that, the other night, he had 26. You had DeMarre Carroll the other night with 12. He's back down to his playoff average 6. You had Serge Ibaka who had 14 points. He down to 7. So you see the trend when I'm saying that, right? Most these guys are scoring half their points. Like, you gotta take pride and do different things. This team, the Raptors, want to shoot threes. They're not a good 3-point shooting team. First and foremost, you see DeMar DeRozan. If I can't hit the 3, I'm going to the rack. You think that would register to his other teammates? If I can't hit no threes, I'm gonna just go to the rack. DeMar DeRozan, had a big night last night. 32 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals. He wanted to win, so guess what? He was tugging on Batman's. Okay, you know what? I'm taking over. Forget this. Let's do this. Let's rock. We about to win. Kyle Lowry, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals in the block. Kyle Lowry played an okay game. I still think it's something's wrong with his back. I still think he having them back spasms, which can be, you don't want him this late in the season now, because you know you're going up against the Cavaliers, who's a team that likes to run, just like the Milwaukee Bucks themselves. But the Cavaliers are a more opposed team. They've been there before. They beat these guys last year in 6. So I'm going to say for the Raptors to even get a win against the Cavaliers, they better not have no Serge Ibaka shooting threes, because they already know that Tristan Thompson is going to rebound in and night out. So he's going to do that. He's going to get his rebounds. So the Raptors better be up for this because I'm looking at the Raptors bench. They have no scorers. Corey Joseph score every now and then, but I don't see them beating the Cavaliers. If uh if they do play when they do play the Cavaliers Monday, I'm giving I say the Cavs win in 5. They just need more guard play and more help because you're not getting it from that at that position. If you got DeMarre Carroll scoring 6, what you think LeBron gonna do? If Giannis putting up 39, what you think LeBron gonna do? Chris Middleton of Milwaukee Bucks, man, fearless guy, hit clutch 3 down the stretch in the fourth quarter to put the team to tie the game up or take the lead. Chris Middleton had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. Big player, big names. I just think what hurt the Milwaukee Bucks this playoff season that Jabari Parker went down early. You talk about raw talent and athleticism. That's Jabari Parker. There's only a couple of guys I do like from Duke. Jabari Parker, Kyrie Irving. I wish he would have played in this series and played this season because that's a tell-all-tell tape right there with a young Milwaukee Bucks with Jabari Parker. And Jason Kidd know that in the back of his head, he said, only if we had JP15 out there. If they had him out there, a whole nother ball game. A whole nother ball. That's another weapon you can use. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 39 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. This kid is special, man. This young kid is special. This young kid is special. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer. He got a couple of MVPs he might receive in this league. This guy is progressing so well on the basketball court. It's unbelievable, man. He can play all positions. He can handle the ball like a guard. Man, the guy is special. The Milwaukee Bucks got a real steal deal in the draft pick with that kid right there, Giannis Antetokounmpo. If Jabari Parker could ever come back and stay healthy, they would be straight. But so far he's been injured since he's been in the league. It was hard to see him go down, but I wish them guys was out there together. That's a nice 1-2 punch, and the 3 coming with Chris Middleton. All right, 13 minutes for Thon Maker, and this is what he give you: 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 blocks, and that's how they lost the game because you're not getting no production from your starters. Another guy who played 30 minutes last night, Tony Snell, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And you can't win like that. For these guys to beat the teams like a Toronto Raptors in the near future or whoever they may play next year in the playoffs, if they make it back to the playoffs, this should be a learning point for these guys. Sit down and watch this playoff film that y'all just went through. Forget the clubbing scene. Sit down. Let's break down this film. How can I make myself better in key game situations? Because you tell me these guys played 13 and 30 minutes and they both scored 2 points. Something that's right there. Something is not right there. Go to the hole. Bang. A lot of these new guys in the NBA have no 15-footer, have no post game, have no hook shot, have no go-to move. All they know is dunk and shoot threes. Most of these guys need to sit down, go watch some old film of NBA players of the 80s, early and late 90s, and maybe the 2000s. But I would say the 80s. Just because that's what basketball is played at its best. And you could say early 90s. Look at the footwork. A lot of these big men don't have footwork. That's why they can't score. When you see a guy that's 7'2" or 7'1" and only got 2 points in a 13-minute game, that's terrible. If you put these guys in the pickup league with their friends in the rec in the summertime, they would tell you, hey, Thon Maker scored 30 points in 12 minutes. But when they come out here to the competition, they freeze up. But they tell you he has a high motor, he had a good practice. If he had a good practice, where all that practice work he put in, it ain't even showing up on the NBA floor. So you guys gotta get in that gym room, get in that film room, and study yourself. How can I make myself better? Because this is to be a learning point. We lost. We lost this series 4-2. You always looking for another page in the book. This is how we're gonna get better. We're gonna work out this. I'm gonna learn some moves. That's what the Milwaukee Bucks should be doing. Malcolm Brogdon, 22 minutes starting. 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. It's terrible. That is terrible. That is so terrible. I already said it. If the Milwaukee Bucks needed to win, that these guys would have to score 12 or 13 points. Just imagine if Malcolm Brogdon would score 13 points. I'm not sitting here talking about the Milwaukee Bucks going home. I'll be sitting here, like I said, the Milwaukee Bucks forced a Game 7. So, you cannot win games like that. You got Delly, you got 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for him off the bench. And their bench all scored 26. So, they missing a couple. They missing 2 pieces. They missing 2 pieces off their team right now. Jabari Parker, who's out for the season, his ACL. You have OJ Mayo, who gets suspended 2 years under the new drug policy. I don't know what you did, OJ Mayo, but that hurt the team right there. That hurted the team right there. You could have been that guy in the starting lineup or off the bench, coming in, putting 10 to 12 points in. Because I seen you play in person in Akron, Ohio, when you was playing for some team called the Greyhounds AAU basketball team going up against the King James Shooting Stars. I remember that. I seen you play. I know what you can do out there in that court, but you hurt your team this season for extra points. You a go-to guy. The Raptors almost blew a 25-point lead. Let the Milwaukee Bucks go on a 34-7 run. Who'll do that? But they saying they can beat the Cavaliers. You're not beating the Cavaliers doing that. What hurt the Bucks too? That second quarter, they scored 20. They gave up 23 points. You could not lose in the second quarter giving up 23 points. You can't go in halftime giving up 23 points. You only scored 12. You cannot beat teams like that. You know, somebody going fishing. It's the Milwaukee Bucks. They had a hell of a season. A lot of people a lot of people had them not making the playoffs. I did. They was one of my dark horse teams in the East. Just like I picked the Utah Jazz to go make the playoffs. And teams like the Utah Jazz and the Milwaukee Bucks only gonna get stronger as the time goes on. So with that being said, the Raptors won 92-89. They wrapped that series up, taking a 4-2 series lead. They will be getting ready for the Cleveland Cavaliers on Monday. That game will be at 7 o'clock. Let's get right. The second game we had on tap, the San Antonio Spurs and the Memphis Grizzlies. They had this guy named Kawhi Leonard. 28 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. We got to get Kawhi Leonard a new name. The Claw, we can't call him the Claw no more. Man, I don't know what to call Kawhi Leonard, man. I don't see the guy sweat. He don't breathe hard. He's unhuman when it comes to basketball. He show no emotion. He's everywhere. To me, I'll be watching the game. He be running so fast to me like he be moving slow. He don't sweat, man. He don't sweat. His team get down by points. You never see him discouraged, hang his head low. He get to come out with the same look just like this I give to you. And he get buckets. He get buckets, man. Kawhi Leonard. And they keep talking about the MVP hype between Russell Westbrook and James Harden. But do y'all see what Kawhi Leonard is doing? Easily. Do you think James Harden and Russell Westbrook could do what Kawhi Leonard is doing? No. Kawhi Leonard, best two-way player in the league, hands down. And I don't care. I'm a Cleveland guy. I like LeBron James. But right now, Kawhi Leonard is the best two-way player in the NBA. Relentless. That's what I can say about him. He relentless. One-shot killer. Dagger. It's so crazy because he'd come down the court and shoot a 3 and get a stop on defense and come down and score again. The guy Kawhi Leonard, man, is awesome. I know my vote right now is Russell Westbrook MVP, but honestly, Kawhi Leonard got to be a close second, and that's something happened otherwise. June 26th during the players award show. LaMarcus Aldridge, 17 points, 12 rebounds. I'd take that, but I do need to see you score 20. You gotta give me 25 and 12. This 17 ain't cutting it. You got to put some more dog in it, man. You ain't that Portland Trailblazer like Marcus Aldridge, man. I need to see that pit in you. You gotta get out there. You're not out there, fam. You gotta go hard. We want you on the. I want you to be scoring. I want you to take like the first 5 shots of the game. You came to San Antonio to be the sidekick and help to help Kawhi Leonard to take to make the load easier. But you have to be more consistent on the offensive end. Because last night, Zach Randolph only could jump off the ground about 2 centimeters. He was giving you the business. He was giving you so much business, he didn't bring the suitcase. That's how much business he was giving you. He didn't bring the suitcase. David Lee, he said he had 7.6 rebounds. People are like, it's David Lee. David Lee is the guy who they put in the lineup. An energy guy. He's a vocal leader out there, as you see on the floor, talking. That's what winning does. That's what happens when you win a championship. You pick up new traits and new attributes that don't show up in the game, but they tell you, oh, this is what he does. He has 7.6 rebounds. Tell him how he got that 7.6 rebounds, offensive rebounds, getting defensive rebounds, putbacks, getting the team second chance shots. That's what David Lee does. He's a vocal leader out there, so the team don't get discouraged. I'm still disappointed in Danny Green. 7 points, 4 rebounds, still looking for the 3 ball. Go to the hole, Danny Green. You can't create your own shot? Create your own shot. Go to the hole. 7 points, 4 rebounds ain't cutting it. Because you guys almost let the Memphis Grizzlies walk back into this game and beat you guys. Get off the 3-point line and go hit, step in 2 feet in. Take me a 17 to 18 foot range, mid-range jumper, which is the lost art of this game because nobody wants to shoot the mid-range no more. There's only a couple of guys that shoot mid-range shots in the league. Tony Parker, stellar, lights out. It's 27 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. That was looking like last night was looking like 2007 Tony Parker out there. Tony Parker was out there having his way. Him and Mike Conley had a duel last night. And my guy, Patty Mills, 10 points. I like Patty Mills. That's the future point guard for the Spurs. I'm just saying, they know Tony Parker is getting older. He's not getting no younger. Chris Paul, a free agent. Why Chris Paul go to San Antonio? I'm just saying. I'm just putting a little stuff out there, just playing around, but that wouldn't be a bad look. Remember I said that. The Spurs bench scored 16 points. Even though they won this on the Popovich bench, I had never seen before scoring that low in the points. You know, a good Greg Popovich bench at least scores about 28 to 35 points. But hey, when you got Kawhi Leonard out there, Mr. Indestructible, Mr. Reliable, he gonna come every night. He don't go away. He like a mosquito at nighttime trying to come get some blood. He gonna drain you. That's all I'm gonna say. Memphis Grizzlies, great season. Always go unnoticed during the regular season in the NBA. One thing they not gonna tell you, Memphis Grizzlies always in the playoffs. They gonna make it. The Grindhouse. Salute to David Fizdale and his boys who played a great hell of a season. James Ennis, 11 points, 3 rebounds. Need to see more. They do a lot of board watching. I mean, when the shot goes up, if the opposing team shoot the ball, they look up in there and they don't grab the rebound. That was James Ennis last night. And JaMychal Green. Watching balls get shot, looking up and don't grab the rebound. You guys are 6'8" and 6'9". If you don't put a dang on hand up in the air and grab rebounds and get your team over this hump. I didn't see none of that last night. You supposed to be playing like the game was on fire. Like the house is on fire. You fighting for your lives. I didn't see no fight from no one. But probably about 3 people last night. That would have been Mike Conley, Vince Carter, or 4 people. Zach Randolph, and Marc Gasol. Only guys who tried to like they wanted to win last night. And they didn't get the help that they needed. Z-Ball with 13 points and 11 rebounds. Pitbull, animal. Zach Randolph is an animal. Guys like that's gonna end their career's gonna end up might not get in the ring. You always want to see guys like that get rings because they work so hard and what they've been doing over the last 11 to 12 years in the NBA. These guys, literally the Memphis Grizzlies, these guys come to work day in and day out with their lunch pill and hard hat on. Go to work, don't complain. They trying to win. It's always guys like that who never get rings who should have at least 1 or 2 rings by now. Marc Gasol 18 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. It's funny because when they win, when the Grizzlies win, I look at the stat sheets. Mike Conley had 25 plus points, and Gasol had like 25 plus points. So when they lost last night, I said, what the trend was? Did nobody else score 25? Normally, when they win, somebody on their squad has 25 points, and luckily, the only person who had that was Mike Conley with 26 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. Vince Carter actually played well, 12 points, 4 rebounds. These guys are not bad at all. Like I said, what hurt them? No Tony Allen. Tony Allen guarding Kawhi Leonard. And no Chandler Parsons. No 3-point depth. And their youth. So that's what they missing right there. And they still almost beat the Spurs. And all their games been close. And their bench score is 16 points because there's nobody coming off their bench. So they need to address that issue in the offseason. Need to get better off the bench. Because you can't be having guys out there playing 15 and 16 minutes with 0 points. You can't do that. You can't do this in this league. I know it's a make or miss league, but 13 minutes, you can't get a shot up? That's awful. And the Spurs, this is another reason. I'll put this one down for a fact. And you can't win games when your team is getting out-rebounded by the Spurs 46-28. That's ugly. That is ugly. Super ugly. You can't win games like that at all. Period. Like I said before I went into depth about this selection, I told you that JaMychal Green and James Ennis, a lot of them guys on Memphis was just watching the ball go up in the air. They won't come down to rebound. They was watching the ball like the moon was about to have an eclipse or something. You have to grab rebounds. You have to. You have to. They standing there watching the ball go up. They almost could read the label on the ball and how much it weighed. But when the person said something like that, was the coach I had. His name was Coach Chuck Riley. He said, "Grab the ball." Y'all guys standing there. By the time the defender come over there, the offensive player, they can read the label and tell how much the ball weighed and where it was made at. That's what they was looking at. What type of ball is that? Is that Sporting? Is that a TF 1000? No, man. It's a rebound. Go grab it. So when you get out rebounded, those rebounds is really points. You're not giving your team another chance to look. So you know who I am. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Tay Wiggs. That's TAE_WIGGS. I'm saying things my Twitter handle at Tay Wiggs, TAE_WIGGS. I'm already here on tap. Go Brownies. Day 2 of the draft is tonight. ESPN. Like I said, it's 3 games on tonight. Wizards, Hawks, Bulls, Celtics, Clippers, Jazz. 7 o'clock, 7:30 for the NBA TV game for the Wizards and Hawks. 8 o'clock, Bulls and Celtics. And 10:30, Clippers and Jazz. TNT. ESPN. And the 3 teams I'm picking to win tonight. Wizards to close out. The Bulls to try to get this win. And the Utah Jazz getting a closeout. You know who I am? I'm out of here. Later. Let's go Brownies.